All right, good evening, everybody. We're going to go ahead and get started in 1 minute. Here's your 1 minute warning to find a space, get your thoughts together, and we're going to start in 1 minute. All right, are you guys ready to get started? Are you guys ready? I hope that you are ready. I am excited to be here to give you a warm welcome to our newest academy, the Junior Academy here at Liberty Steam Charter School. We are here tonight for our Meet the Candidates Forum. In accordance with our bylaws and in participation with the Public Charter School Alliance of South Carolina, we are hosting a Meet the Candidates Forum because we do have a contested race. Our bylaws state that every year there are a certain number of seats on our board of directors that are up for appointment or for election. In this calendar year, we have 3 seats up for election and 2 seats up for appointment. So I'm going to give just a few opening remarks and then we're going to turn it over to our moderator. Before we begin, we want to give any parent, any VIP, the opportunity that has a scholar that would like to go to childcare because this is counting as one of your PEACE requirements. We do have childcare available. If your scholar at this time would like to participate, Mrs. Hatfield and Mrs. Harris are in the back waving their hands, and they are waiting for your scholar to show us 5 and 1 to Ms. Hatfield, and we will reunite you at the conclusion of our program. Thank you to those scholars that are showing 5 and 1 as they go to Mrs. Hatfield. Other VIPs that are waiting for the program to begin, we value your participation. In fact, it is a part of the commitment to excellence. And so at this time, I invite each of you to take your picture or track it forward. This does count as part of your volunteer hours. It is such an exciting sea of faces out there to see that are here tonight to hear directly from those who want to dream with us as we reimagine what excellence in public education should look like here in Sumter County. And so make sure to take your picture. This is your chance to upload it, to track it forward so that you can get approval for this 1 hour of volunteer credit. All right. Our board chairman, Mr. Greg A. Thompson, who is a candidate in the appointment cycle, sends his regrets that he is unable to attend the forum due to an unavoidable scheduling conflict, but he, as our original visionary leader, extends his great appreciation to the Liberty community for engaging in what is considered a very important process. At this time, no event at Liberty would not be able to begin without the focus on what truly matters, which is our children who we call our scholars. And so many of you were greeted by the exciting sounds of our drumline under the direction of Mr. Brown and Mr. Blanding here at the Elementary Academy. Can we give them an applause? If you didn't see it, you can check it on Facebook Live. And to showcase from the Primary Academy, Mrs. Franklin, the culture interventionist, is going to lead our Eagle ambassadors to set the tone for us about what makes Liberty truly special. These Eagle ambassadors, dressed in their sashes, are going to invite all of us at this time to stand, and we are going to say the Pledge of Allegiance. Our ambassadors will lead us. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated. Our Eagle ambassadors from the Primary Academy class of 2038 and 2037 are now going to open us up with the Liberty Alma Mater. Mrs. Franklin, the floor is yours. Thank you to the Eagle ambassadors from the Primary Academy. As our moderator comes to take the podium, the one and only Derek Burris from the Good Morning Sumter Radio. We're so excited that you are here to return for our second Meet the Candidates Forum. We are ready for you tomorrow on the radio, but more importantly, we're ready for you today. Before he takes the mic, we'd love to squeeze in. Let's take a look at the pews, the seats, and let's squeeze in. We have some folks in the back that need a seat, and so we'd love to take this opportunity to make some room for our folks in the back so that they can have a seat. All right, give it up for Mr. Derek Burris.
Thank you, Dr. Pleased to be back here for this second year to moderate this candidate forum. We have some good candidates here. I believe each of you have access to all their bios and everything. We're going to ask them some questions tonight, and they have a certain amount of time to answer each of these questions. Now, their responses to each of these questions, like I said, are going to be timed. I have my timekeeper wave her arm. Get it up there where everybody can see it. And she's going to have two cards in her hand. She has a yellow card that will be displayed when you have 10 seconds remaining. And also you have a red card that will indicate your time has expired. And with each question, I will tell you how much time you have to answer the questions. So we're going to begin, and we'll begin at the far end with Moses Chandler and work our way down this way. You have 1 minute to introduce yourselves. Tell us your life resume in 1 minute. Mr. Chandler, go first. Yeah, they're on. I believe all the mics are on.
Greetings, my name is Moses Chandler. I'm a native of right here in Sumter, a husband to one, a father to four, a brother to seven, and a friend to few. I studied business management. I have an extensive background in the waste business, the forestry industry, and also I have an extensive background in commercial cleaning. So that being said, I started 3 businesses here in Sumter, waste management, Car Solutions, T&L Janitorial, and T&L Timber. That allows me to be there for my family and my children and to be able to pass down an inheritance.
All right, very good. Ms. Clark, I believe you're next.
Good evening. Sorry for my tardiness. But in 1 minute to describe myself, my name is Princess Clark. I am a graduate of Crestwood High School, 2011, originally from Sumter. I am a graduate of Francis Marion with a bachelor's in sociology. I have a master's in criminal justice at Charleston Southern, and in May I will have a doctorate in Charleston Southern. In criminal justice at Liberty University. I do have a scholar that does attend the Liberty, the 2nd grade, and
Very good. Ms. Davis.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Lachey Davis, and I am not from Sumter, but I am married to a Sumterite, Dexter Davis, and we actually moved here for Liberty about almost 4 years ago now. I have a bachelor's and master's degree in psychology, and I have experience in case management with the Department of Social Services, as well as Greenville Urban League, which is where I'm from. That's my hometown. I have several experiences in education, starting from preschool teacher, after school lead teacher, special needs teacher assistant. There's a couple more. Anyway, my husband and I served as marriage counselors. Oh man, it's about that. I served as a director for the first black female director in Atlanta, Georgia for 20 plus years in Atlanta.
All right, stop.
Hi, I'm Jenny Kenhoff, and I am from Turbyville, South Carolina. I married my husband, he's from Sumter. His name is Kel, and we have 2 children. Jenna Lane, she's a 5th grade scholar here at Liberty, and she's a founding scholar. And then my son, Matt, will be a kindergarten scholar next year. So joining some little ones I saw right around here. I have an undergraduate degree in elementary education from the University of South Carolina. And then I have a graduate degree in communication disorders, so I am a speech-language pathologist by trade. So I currently work in the school district. So I've been in traditional public school for 17 years, and I'm counting this year, so this is year 17. And I have served as the academic committee chair on the Liberty STEAM Charter School Board. And yeah, that's a little bit about me.
All right, Mr. Lynn.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Gary Lynn, and I am a transplant to Sumter. I moved here in October 2000 when the Air Force brought me here, and I retired. I worked in the Air Force 23 years, and I worked at Pilgrim's Pride for a little bit, and then the Sumter Department of Transportation for 18 years, where I just recently retired from there as well. My wife and I have 6 kids that we adopted. We have 6 adult kids that aren't here with us, out in the world. And 2 of our kids are here as scholars. We really enjoy what we have here. Right now, we're a foster family as well. And that's where we got the 6 kids. We've fostered 38 kids so far. We enjoy what we're doing. We enjoy having Liberty STEAM Charter here. We've seen a huge difference from the public schools. Unfortunately, I have 2 more that are in the public schools. They're too old to actually move here. We enjoy our doing, and I'm looking forward to,
Reverend Newton?
My name is Marion Newton, and as you look at the members of this board, you can see that I'm the senior. I'm delighted to be a founding member of our board here at Liberty. I have 2 scholars that goes to Liberty. They are my great-grandchildren. Yes. And a master of theology from Morris College. I've been in Sumter quite a while, and I pastored Jehovah Missionary Baptist Church for 43 years. And I love this community, and I love Liberty.
Hi, Kimberly Rauschenbach, and I also am a founding board member for Liberty Steam Charter School. I'm grateful for the opportunity to serve a community that I fell in love with. At the age of 18, I graduated from high school right down the road at Lugoff Elgin High School and joined the military. And my first duty assignment was Shaw Air Force Base. I could not have been more pleased and displeased at the same time because I joined to travel the world and they sent me right back home. But it ended up being one of the greatest blessings because it's here in Sumter, South Carolina that I met my husband, Brian Rauschenbach, who is also in the military. We're a retired military family. I served as an electronics technician for about 15 years. Went on to earn a degree in business administration from St. Leo University. Worked at Toomey Healthcare System as a process engineer for quite some time, which is continuous improvement, and was recruited into construction where I work in talent development as the director of talent development for our relatively large construction group. And there's one important thing that I wanted to tell you, and it's probably the most important work that I've done in my life, is I have 2 children. Our children are Cal and Brooks, and they're 23 and 19 years old. Both of them are in the skilled trades. Our daughter is up in the upstate, and she is building Pendleton High School right now. Our son is over here in Central Carolina for mechatronics, and that is probably the greatest blessing of my life as my children, and to be able to serve yours is important to me as well. Thank you.
All right. Nice to meet the candidates there. We have several questions that we'll have for each of you tonight. On this question, which is our first one, you have 1.5 minutes each. We will begin with Ms. Knopf, and we will move to your left and then back around this way on this first question. So here's question number 1. It's about motivation and contribution. What inspires you to run for the Liberty Steam Board? And how would your experience, skills, and ideas contribute to improving the school and board processes?
Okay, well, as I mentioned before, my scholars are here and we'll be starting here. So that's my first inspiration, and that's really what drove me to want to join the board to begin with, is how can I make this school and our community a better place? And to build off of that, it's just, I love Sumter. And so I'm not from here originally, but in Turbyville, you either go to Sumter or you go to Florence. So I've always loved Sumter, kind of grew up here, and so it just means a lot to me. Our family is here for the long haul, and so it means a lot to me that our education system is strong and that we can inspire other schools to be just as strong as we are. And so that's a huge part of it. And just my background in education and special education, I really feel confident and strong in those 2 areas, and I want to give all the expertise that I can and that I have to give. And just overall my years in education, I know I have a ways to go, but I feel like the 17 years I can definitely pass on some knowledge to our team. So we've got some wonderful educators here too that have inspired me and taught me a lot of things as well. So.
okay, well, what inspires me the most is seeing our kids not only learn, especially the way Liberty does their instruction, but seeing them enthusiastic about coming to school and getting out of that car and everybody waving and high-fiving and everything. That's impressive. over the years, we've been through a lot of schools with all of our kids. We just don't see that. But that's what's inspired. In my 40-plus years in the workforce, in the Air Force, the DOT, and everywhere else, I have a lot of experience in strategic planning and collaboration and problem solving. In fact, I try to use the common sense approach to problem solving. And I think that's what brings me to want to see what we can do to help grow Liberty STEAM to be a full K through 12 down the road. There's a lot of work ahead to make that happen. I believe that there's a lot going on now that's fantastic. There's always room for improvement somewhere. Even if you do it great, can we do it better? Make more education for everyone and make sure we meet the goals and the vision of the school itself.
As a founding member of Liberty STEAM Charter School, my motivation is to serve on the board. Comes from a deep commitment to children, families, and the future of our community here in Sumter. I believe in the vision of Liberty STEAM Charter School to provide a high-quality innovation education that prepares students not only academically, but also to become thoughtful and leaders and problem solvers.
What inspires me to run for the board is I'm deep in the trenches already. We've been at this now for almost 10 years, and my big passion is connecting your babies to the jobs that are going to be waiting for them when they're ready to enter the workforce. We know that our goal, one of our fellow panelists has said this, but the goal is generational health and generational wealth for all of the people of Sumter. And education is not one size fits all. So if we're going to build these jobs that are waiting, and if we're going to help people elevate into jobs that are going to be able to pay a fair and equitable wage for them to achieve that generational health and wealth, then we've got to have school choices. And Liberty is special because I have two children, a son and a daughter. Our daughter survived traditional public school wonderfully. She thrived in traditional public school, but our son did not. He had a really hard time sitting still. And if a school like this had existed for him with project-based learning, consistent hands-on, having packed partnerships that are showing them why the skills that they're learning in the classroom, how they'll translate into the jobs of the future, that's why I want to continue to serve at Liberty.
Mr. Chairman.
What inspires me, when I originally saw the email that went out, I really took some time to sit and did some self-reflections down through the years, just looking back over my life, just having that community where I grew up, raised in a house with no mother, no father. My grandmother raised me, and we had that real tight community. I come from a real tight community, and I love Sumter. Sumter is really growing. Sumter is doing some really great things, and I have two scholars. I have one that will be starting here in the new year, but just to see my 4-year-old talks about Liberty, and she's not even a part of Liberty yet, that tells me that you guys are doing some great things here. My 8-year-old that gets out of the truck every morning when I drop her off, she's happy, she's bright, she's ready to start, and I just want to be included in that somehow, some way. I want to be able to give back, and I think it's very important.
Ms. Clark.
Well, currently I hold the title of the South Carolina Education and Training Voucher Coordinator, where I work with foster kids who would like to pursue secondary education. So with that, I start working with them as early as 15, 16, and most of them now complain about their high schools, the schools they're in now. And so like he stated, just having that your scholar just jump out of the car every day and just glad that they're at this school, they don't want to miss school, they're, just excited to be here. And me personally coming from the Sumter School District myself, I just definitely want to be included in that joy that the school brings to these youth.
Ms. Davis.
My why is very simple. One, It's three parts. One, my husband is a founding member. Two, I want to continue what he helped start. I've been on the board for 2.5 years now, and it's a part of who I am. We've moved 20 times in 33 years. We lived in 12 cities in 7 states, and not military, but we've been community advocates wherever we've been. And having a counseling background and all of that, having that counseling background, having that educational background, being a community advocate, it's important for us to ensure that the youth of the community is prepared for the next level. And we moved back to Sumter to help Sumter grow even more. And we're all in, it's a part of who we are. And it starts with the children. In order to make a community better, you gotta start with the child. And so we want to continue that. And then the last thing is, I said simple, the last thing is, I have a 1-year-old granddaughter who is going to be in the graduating class of 2042. And, I gotta make sure that we still hang in there.
All right, very good. Question number 2 tonight, talking about resource management and program growth. Gotta have those resources. How would you, as a candidate, ensure that Liberty STEAM has the resources through budgeting, partnerships, or grants to grow programs, support teachers, and provide scholars with the best opportunities? You have 1.5 minutes each to answer this, and we'll begin with Reverend Newton and move to his left.
Thank you very much. As a board member, I believe strong resource management begins with responsible budgeting, strategic partnerships, and active pursuit of grants. It's very important that we support those who are trying to get grants, find grants in order to have the budget and the funds to really operate our school. I think this is very important because of the economy. It's getting more difficult to find these things, so it's a challenge to us. But by faith, I believe that we can do this, but we have to work together. Thank you.
When we talk about money, money's big. Money's probably one of the biggest challenges that's facing our school right now. And we have all of the scholars that are sitting in the seats, and we get money per scholar that's in a seat. But we're also building the next campus and the next campus and the next campus. So the next several years are really, really tight stretches for us financially. We know that. You know that. There's a lot of wants, and I think the way that we have served well, especially as board members and as senior leaders across the campuses, is we make every dollar count. Every decision that is made, and I got to give credit to Dr. Rodney Thompson on this one. He's at the very beginning when we were building the school, he said every decision that we make must be made through the filter of what is best for our scholars. So every dollar that comes into our pockets is filtered through how do we really make this stretch? How do we pay our staff, our team members a wage that is fair? So we pay better than anybody else in the local area, and that's because we know that we have to have the right talent, we have to have enough money, and we have to produce really well so that we can pursue those grants and those financial support systems that are out there, because again, we operate oftentimes in a deficit whenever it comes to reimbursements from the state. The other space that we have to stay laser focused is on our community partnerships. Those community partnerships are so incredibly important because those are the future employers for our scholars. So we have to keep an eye on the dollar, but we also have to keep an eye on those partnerships in the existing community.
Ms. Chen.
Thank you. I would help ensure that the resources, budgeting, and partnerships are actually set through. I believe that no decision can be made exclusively. It has to be done collectively. So I would really put myself out there on the front line. I would work with the team members, the board, and I would do whatever it takes to be able to thrive and make sure that we are making the right decisions for each and every scholar. I know having an extensive background, like she said, it takes money. You know, I understand that. You know, we have profit and we have losses. So understanding that, bringing that level of expertise to the actual board and bringing ideas, I think I would be able to help really ensure that we're moving forward together.
Well, I must say that currently, shout out to Liberty because they are very transparent now with every dollar that they earn, what they do with the funds. We actually can see what they're doing with the funds. I mean, just look at the school itself and the kids. But just me, I would continue to build that strong partnerships with local businesses, colleges, and other community organizations, and just expand more on the mentorships, internships, and other resources that's out there. Like I said before, Liberty is doing a very well job with just what they're doing now with the budget and funding and other partnerships, such as strategic planning and more community collaborations.
Moving around a lot, you learn how to talk to people, and I think I got that down pat. But being the director of the organization that I was part of for 20 years, I alone had to manage a budget, a $1.8 million annual budget, and with 15 staff, and we work with 56 schools providing programs and summer camps and things like that for youth. So I have that experience working with some of the major corporations and organizations across the world already. I use that experience and everything that I've learned there when here. And I think I've done a pretty decent job in helping to expose our team, our board that we've already been a part of, to different organizations and grant opportunities. So I just look forward to doing that even more, helping provide even more. And yeah.
As far as budgeting, I'm so thankful that we have different committees on our board that actually meets once a month. Academic meets and finance meets and development meets and governance meets. And these are a team of people, a smaller group that have a specific expertise that can discuss all of these very tight-knit, and then they go back out to the board. So for me, that's been wonderful as an academic brain, but learning more about the budget has been wonderful in that regard. Part of this question talks about supporting teachers, and so I am an educator, so at heart, that's like my main focus. If your teachers feel supported, your scholars feel supported. So that's huge for me. And I will say on academic committee, I have loved that teachers come to the committee meetings, teachers that, 4th grade teachers, 3rd grade teachers, any grade, they come, they present, they ask questions, they ask for help, like we need this, we want this curriculum, we need money for this. And so I love that they will come before us as a team and request those things. And so definitely supporting teachers is huge for me. And of course, when you support teachers and administration, then you're supporting scholars, and it all comes back to that. Yeah, so just having those conversations, real conversations, I feel like our teachers feel that they can come to us, and I hope that they do if they don't, but just continuing to be that support piece. And if there's things we cannot afford, we find other ways to make it happen. And so, like Kim was talking about with community partnerships and all that.
Well, focusing on budgeting and raising funds. The school's successful, been successful with the leadership of Dr. Ivy itself. But we need to be focused on going out to our partners and other businesses and other individuals to try to find more funding that can allow us to go through grade 12 and offer the options that the students are looking for. Stay laser focused on what we need to do, coming up with innovative ideas that raises funds through partnerships with businesses, with VIPs involved, scholars involved, possibly you know where the scholars can learn meeting some of the requirements to raise funds as well. As a part part of the board member, I would be driving that to make sure we look outside the box and find ways that are different from all the other schools that are trying to reform as well. We've done very well. I think we had 11.5 million spent last year. We brought in over $12 million. But we need help that as we grow more students. There's a lot of good going on with this board and with the school. We just need to find ways that we can improve on what's already at the high level. Let's take it another level, or maybe make a left turn somewhere and find another source of support and resources.
All right. Time for question number 3. This one's going to focus on community and family engagement. Candidates, let me ask you, how would you support and strengthen relationships with families, community partners, and PATH, or Career Cluster Business Partner, to ensure meaningful and a structured involvement? You have 1.5 minutes for this question, and we will begin with Ms. Clark and move to your left.
How would I support and strengthen relationships? Well, I say just maintain consistent communication and create opportunities. Like I said before, with Liberty, they are very transparent and open with everything. So just continuing that and providing actively contributions to the scholars learning and their development.
I'm from old school. Takes a village to raise a child. And we are all a part of that village. The communities, the organizations, the companies, all of those. And we do, when I say we, Liberty does a great job reaching out to every organization that we can come up with, every company that we can come up with, that we can partner with, so that we can expose these children to more than what they see on TV and all of that. They need to know what's around them. In order for them to be more, then they have to be exposed to more. And so I want to be a part of helping them, helping us, helping the team, helping the board be one of those advocates for more partnerships, more PATH partners, teaching them, and I'm not sure if you guys know about this, but that's a part of our career planning, to expose these children to partnerships within our community so that they can be contributing citizens in our community. And I feel like that is what's important.
Well, first of all, I feel like one of the main things that drew me to Liberty and keeps us here is the families. I just love the tight-knit community that I form with a lot of parents, and I know as we grow that gets a little bit more difficult to meet everybody, but just that family environment is so important to me. And a way to continue that is just being present and being at events and having conversations with people. I think that I'm always open to that for everybody. Love to hear suggestions and ideas to take back to academic, and let's talk about it. So definitely that part with family is huge for me. As far as community stuff, just as everybody has said, just bringing those PATH partners in and making them feel like, hey, I want to be a part of this place too. And so I kind of had an advantage because my daughter went on the field trip to Nephron, so I got to go and see one of our PATH partners as a chaperone. But I got to be a board member too, and so that was really cool to see it all in action and like what they're doing, the fact that they are so invested in our kids. So it's really neat.
Well, I second that as well. What we need to find is ways to include VIPs with the scholars, doing activities that afford to fundraising for some school. But we've got that with our enrichments. But look at our enrichments and find out if there's a way that we can make it a team thing with the parent and the child. Get everybody focused. It's a great school. It's easy for us to get involved and move forward. I know we get tired of seeing fundraiser after fundraiser, but that's how the school needs to operate. We need big pots of money from the large companies and businesses out there. We also need grassroots stuff. I think parents can get involved a little bit more with their students, and they can come up with some ideas that they build something that needs for a fundraising event. And I've got some ideas here as we go forward, but there's a lot that can be done. It seems like teachers are with our kids, communicating with us, class JoJo and everything else. And there's a lot of activities going on that has to be done at home, homework, which requires parent interaction as well. Just encourage more of it and make sure that our kids are learning. And that's one of our best.
Thank you very much. Strong schools are built with strong relationships. I believe that we need to continue what we are doing, and that is being inclusive when it comes to community. Our first school is in the middle of a community of homes, primary school. And in one of our initial meetings, like 5 years ago, someone asked me, what do you think that we need to do in order to kick this vision off? And I said, you need to involve community. Community is very important, and we are doing that. We're doing that with businesses, with different organizations, REITs, and clergy. We involve community. So I would like to see us continue to build on the foundation that we have when it comes to community. I'm big on this. Because without the help and the resources from the community, we are just going to be a school all by ourselves, and that will not last.
Oh, Andy, you gotta get that yellow card ready for me. This is the big one. I'm just kidding, I promise. This is the big one because when we were writing the charter for the school a decade ago, we said, what is gonna make this school the magical place that it is? And we said it's three things. We said that we've got to have, number one, the scholars and their families. They've got to be in the school. They've got to be present. They can't just drop their kids off every day and then go home and be separate. We've got to be involved. And you are involved. You're here today. We see your involvement. The second thing that we have to have is really great schools to come to. It has to be a place where whenever you walk in, you feel welcomed, that every single person who's on that staff loves your baby almost as much as you do. And then finally, that third thing is that we've got to have those community stakeholders that are in the school. Not talking about the school, not dropping off supplies to the school, but actually in the school talking about those jobs that are forecasted to be waiting for those scholars when they're ready to join the workforce. And so I want to tell you, fast forward now to, that was when we started, what the vision was. What we're working on right now is building these youth apprenticeships for your future high school kids. So whenever you have a 10th grader and they're getting ready to look at the jobs that are waiting for them, we are currently building the partnerships with those path partners so that when your scholars are ready to walk across that stage and graduate, that they are ready either to start working immediately because they have their OSHA 30, they have all of the certifications that they need, they're NCCER certified, they are ready to go to work, or they're ready to join the military and take the route that I took and Mr. Lynn took. And then also, if they want to be college bound, then we're going to help set you up for success. And so that's really where the next step is going to, is preparing the on-ramps to work out in our community and join those jobs and those work in those careers that are waiting for them. And I didn't even get the yellow card.
You got the red.
I got the red card.
Mr. Chandler. Somehow they migrated down to the other end down here.
Thank you. Just like my dear sister said here on my left, she said that she is old school, and I am old school as well, raised old school. I really believe that it takes a village to raise a child. So with that being said, I would be able to show support and strength through the relationships with family, like just being on the front line, showing up, rolling up my sleeves, doing what I have to do for the people, for the children, for the staff, just being there on the front line. I think, that is very important. We can go out in the community, we can do different things, but showing up and doing what's right, I think that is very important for the scholars and then the next generation that's coming behind them. So just like Reverend Newton said, community, we have to get out there on the front line.
Very good. That concludes question number 3 for the candidates. Our fourth question here tonight relates to vision and impact. And here's the question, and you have 1.5 minutes for your answers, candidates. The question is, where do you see Liberty STEAM in the next 5 years? And what role would you play in helping the school achieve that vision? Ms. Davis, we'll start with you and move to your left.
Okay, so it's important. 5 years from now, we're gonna have junior academy going, we're gonna have high school going. I mean, that's without a doubt. But it's important for us to know, even like policy and procedures today in our legislation, we've gotta keep legislation first and foremost. We've gotta know what's going on, who's making the decisions and what decisions they're making and all of that, because that directly impacts here. So that is one of the important factors in our question. Oh, what would I play for a role in that position? Just staying abreast on what's going on, in our legislation and how that's affecting us. Because that's important. I've gone with our school, with the board. I've gone up to the State House and, actually sat in some of those meetings, and it's very impactful. It makes it real as to why we're doing what we're doing and how hard and how, or how easy it is to get it done. It's just about knowing the policy, knowing what's going on, and then once that happens, then you know how to kind of manipulate and know how to figure out how we can get it accomplished here, how we can get that 12th grade here so that my grandfather can be a graduate in 2042. So, yeah.
Okay, being on the academic committee, this part is more concrete for me. Looking at us having an excellent rating in the next 5 years, before 5 years, but we are currently rated as good, if you didn't know, and so the next step would be excellent. So that would be a goal. I can't wait to see successful middle level instruction going. 6 through 8 will be built out in 5 years, and so just seeing that running, it's a totally different ball game than setting up elementary school. And I've seen the work a lot of this staff has done to make that happen. It's crazy. Scheduling and all the requirements from the State Department. So just seeing all that running well, I'm super excited about the next 5 years. Also sports. I'm looking forward to see what sports holds for us. But there's been a lot of conversation around sports. Coach Butler's done a great job leading that up. And so just seeing where it goes. And I know we will have those. We've been prepping our scholars through enrichments all these years. And so a lot of you are involved in those. So just seeing what happens with sports will be wonderful in the next 5 years. That'll be the beginning stages of high school for us. So that's another beast, the scheduling and the courses and the credits. And so just seeing that get started. And that leads into those college credits and what does enrichment and electives look like for our high schoolers. And so just that continued growth, which I have complete faith in Liberty to see that grow wonderfully.
Well, I apologize for not speaking up on the microphone. I'm not very good at public speaking, although I've been doing it for 35 years. I usually have someone back telling me up or down or anything like that. My wife was over there going like this. So, vision for the next 5 years. I agree with everybody, what everyone said, but we're going to start school for all other schools. All other schools that come to us, not to fight. He's here for the next 15 years. They come to us and say, how are you doing this? How come you're successful? How come all your students are so happy with what you're doing? They may not like the homework, they may not like the extra work, but they're happy being here. And it's the positive attitude of the staff, of teachers, of parents. but we're driving that driving seat. Now, 2 of our kids are learning impaired for reading. When we came into the school, we were convinced that there was systems in place to help them bring up their reading. Guess what? They're reading. They're not reading at that grade level yet. With the toy book, they're reading it as they're watching it on Facebook. They're going through this. Our second grader is going line by line to make sure he reads and he stops if he's not sure what he's reading. So it's successful. So being the benchmark for all of the schools is what we need to strive for. That's where I see us in 5 years. Continue on what we're doing. Yep, right. But that's where we're at, and I think that's where we can. And I can contribute to that as a 2-time retiree with a lot of experience in problem solving and looking outside the box. I think I can bring that in.
Thank you very much. The brother on the end said we need to be on the front line. Well, I want you to know, those of you who are not on the board yet, this is a job. This is a working board. We don't just show up when we have a meeting. We show up during the week. In other words, the scholars need to know you, right? They need to be running up to you just like they run up to the teachers. Okay? Yeah, I mean, so to answer the question, I hope in the next 5 years that we will even have a board that will continue to grow our school. I think that's very important to have a board with new ideas, new energy, so that we can continue to be the #1 school in this state or nation.
And I'll just reiterate that 5 years from now, we will be that strong technical high school that is preparing our scholars for the future. And I think that we'll have some apprenticeships that are all lined up and ready to go so that our scholars have this beautiful pathway right on into the working segment.
In the next 5 years, I would love to see Liberty better and bigger. I believe that you guys, the staff, the board, has done tremendous things down through the years, but as somebody said earlier, there's always room for growth. And I do believe that in the next 5 years, Liberty will be bigger, they will be better. What I would bring, helping in that role, like Dr. Newton said, being on the front line. He said this is not just something that you just show up to. There are times where we're going to have to work. We're going to have to work at it. It's going to get frustrating. Probably going to get long hours. I don't know. But I believe that we have to be able to be on the front line and roll up your sleeves and do what's important as a team.
Well, as stated before, I would like to see Liberty just grow more with the junior academy as well, with the high school. And as far as, well, also sports, usual sports. But as far as what I can bring, just contributing more, as stated before, this is not just a board that you have to show up. They want commitment and work, so commitment and work is what I should do.
All right. That concludes the question portion of our program tonight for the candidates. It is now time for their closing remarks. You each have 30 seconds to make your closing remark. Since we did our opening statement at the other end and came down this way, we're going to start here and move back to your right. And you have 30 seconds each for your closing statement, whatever you'd like to say.
I just want to remind the purpose of the board before you walk out. And really the purpose of the board is to cast vision. What does the next 5 years look like? What does the next 10 years look like? And how do we set everybody up for success financially, mentally, physically, spiritually? How do we win? The second is that our job as a board is to empower the people who are overseeing day-to-day operations. So our job is really to look for the obstacles and push them out of the way so that the people who are leading that charge can get the work done. That's the responsibility of the board. And then finally, I just want to share with you, it's probably kind of like a little bit of a key phrase, but you're going to hit a lot of problems no matter where you're serving at Liberty Charter School. And I'm going to tell you what the answer is. Love is always the answer.
She took some of my time.
30 seconds.
She talked about casting vision. The scripture says, without vision, the people perish. And I'm glad that we have the vision from Mr. Thompson when he called us together at that initial meeting. And we are going to continue developing the vision. I want to thank each of you for showing up tonight. It means that you're interested in our schools.
In closing, this is a great school to be at. I think I have a lot to bring to the table. I have a lot of time on my hands, which one doesn't like, but we're looking here. This is our future of our grandkids coming through, and we've got 6 of those. But I would like to have an opportunity to be part of that and grow with the school and see the fantastic things moving forward. I like the idea of preparing for vocational work, not just for college. I think it's a great thing that came up, great things, ideas behind it, and I think we can make it work.
And I would just like to reiterate that the board is exceptional. The people on it, they do exactly what they do for our kids. I mean, that's it. That's the bottom line. If the conversation is ever not about our scholars, we're not having that conversation. And so being a part of that has been absolutely amazing to see. And the work is for the kids. It's for the scholars every time. And so just thank you for your trust in me. And also, the biggest part I wanted to share is I cannot wait to see 2033 walk across the stage. That will be the best moment of my life, so I can't wait.
In closing, I too want to say thank you for being here. This is the most that we've had, most participation that we've had in these forums. So thank you. It shows that you care and that you're definitely involved and interested, as we always wanted. And before my 30 seconds are up, I just want, yeah, mean what you say what you mean, and that is a part of who I am. I just want to continue being a part of Liberty and continue to contribute to, the governing part, but also empowering, as Kim said, to help your scholars be contributing members of society. Like I got card.
In closing, just want to say thank you to the board members that we have now. Thank you to the ones that we are going to have in the future. And regardless whether it's me or not, I just want to make sure there's change and just more growth with you.
In the words of the late Reverend Jesse Jackson, he said, each one teach one, live for one. I believe that is very important for not only for this community, but for the scholars here and the ones that are coming behind the ones that are here. And I would just really enjoy to be a part of the innovation, the excellence that is, I know that is going to take place. And I appreciate all of you being here today.
All right. Dr. Ivy, I believe, is going to make his way back, but let's give these candidates a hand for putting themselves up for election. And with some instructions on the voting process, we have Dr. Ivy.
All right, let's give it up for Mr. Derek Burris. To moderate our Meet the Candidates Forum. So what are next steps? I'll never forget our first election, got a phone call from a member of the community, and the member said, where do I go vote for the Charter School Board of Directors? This is Liberty STEAM, right? I said, yes, but you have to be a parent or a staff member to have an option to vote. And so that's the most important thing that I want to leave you with as you exit out tonight. Liberty has always had tremendously high participation in all of our elections that we've hosted for the last 4 years. This is our 5th election. And so what will happen in terms of next steps is next Monday, March the 17th, every parent is going to receive an email. Now I want to be very clear with the email. This is all overseen by the Public Charter Alliance of South Carolina. Whatever the primary guardian, parent or guardian's email address is on file with the school is the actual email that the State Charter Alliance will use to distribute the election ballot. It's secure, you're gonna get a unique code, you're gonna get a PIN, and you gotta copy and paste that to actually access your ballot. When you access your ballot, you will see all of the candidate profiles within the ballot. You can vote for up to 3 names on the ballot. Why 3? Because our bylaws state that in this election cycle, there are 3 seats up for election. So you will see all of the names on the ballot, and again, you can select up to 3. Voting will open next Monday at 8 a.m. So you'll get the Tuesday, excuse me, thank you, Mrs. Hanson. And voting will close on the 19th at 5 o'clock. So what time does it open? 8 o'clock on Tuesday. It closes at 5 o'clock on March the 19th. On the 23rd, which is a week after, that is when the Charter Alliance will make the results official. And that process is all coordinated by them. And so they will touch base with all of the candidates. They will release the results to the school. And in the theme of transparency, we will post it using all of our communication platforms. So if you have 2 scholars at Liberty, you will receive 2 emails because state charter law allows each scholar's parent to have 1 vote. So if you've got 3, you're going to get how many emails? 3. You only have 1, you're only going to get 1. Parents and staff members are the only 2 groups of individuals that are allowed to vote. So please exercise your choice option to choose Liberty and to help us get to 2033. It takes great courage to step up and to put your name forward for candidacy. So this is no small task. Let's give them another round of applause. So these are public directors in terms of election offices within the state of South Carolina. And so this is an unpaid job, right? And so thank you so much for putting your name forward. We also have several folks that are in the audience that are on the board of directors. Mrs. Douglas, I see. I'd love to recognize her. And give us a love. And am I missing any one of my other 9 bosses? All right, beautiful. All right, last but not least, the book fair is open. So book fair is here at the Elementary Academy. If your scholars at the primary, the book fair will be open on tomorrow at that campus between 4 and 6 o'clock. Thank you so much and have a good evening.
Congratulations. It is so you like very well done. How did they get out of school? Did they
I guess Scotty kind of coordinated that, and she's like, I said no, that's what this is. Thank you very much.